a very large program, but we put a cap on the program, changed some of the processes involved so that investors who apply and get credits authorized cannot wait forever to get their project started. We would require that they begin the project within the first 2 years of receiving authorizations. And the reason that is important is because one of the issues that's been raised with the program is that a party can get their authorizations, wait a long period of time before they start, and then when the project's finally done, their redemptions come in, piled onto other redemptions at a faster clip than anybody expected. And that's where we have problems in balancing our budget with our programs. So by changing and requiring some activity immediately after the credits are issued, or within 2 years rather, it gives our budget planning process a better ability to get a feel for what kind of redemptions they're going to see down in the future. Now, we're also trying to make sure that the program remains viable in the rural areas. There's a lot of good opportunity in the rural areas to still be able to do that. And we think that is something the Senate might be interested in doing. We're also looking at some potential changes to the Missouri Development Finance Board. We want to make sure that it is a body that is able to do many different things to promote development, but at the same time, it's an appointed body, it's not an elected body, and there's some dispute in the Senate about whether or not that is the best way to have financial accountability and how incentives are used. So we're willing to open up the door to have that discussion, but we have not landed on any real consensus on what would be the best way to affect the Missouri Development Finance Board. So we're going to have a committee hearing tonight. We're going to talk some more about that and hash out some ideas and hopefully come up with a good proposal to send to the Senate and open the door on further discussion in a conference committee.
What kind of soft cap are you talking about with historics?
Well, with historics, we're looking at, in the House, we're looking at a package that would put the value of the entire program, so to speak, about 175 to 180 million. And the way we've arrived at that figure is we would set a cap at 165 million on the base program, and then we would set an exemption to that cap for small projects where the tax credits authorized are 350,000 or less. So the result would be with that, the smaller programs, we're getting some reasonable estimates that would probably result in about 12 to 15 million a year in authorizations or redemptions rather. So that would put the value of that program up over a little over 70 million. And we're not real sure how that exemption will work out. We think it'll be a controlled amount because smaller projects tend to be a lot harder to be financed than the larger ones. So that's how we come up with that value. Now the Senate is not is split on that issue. So we decided we'll take. In an effort of good governance, we need to get to a conference committee on a bill and work out the details and get the two different views in the Senate at the table with us. So we took an approach that we felt like was going to draw in the aggressive protectors of historic tax credits in the Senate and the aggressive reformers to the table. So we've got something now that we can zero in on and start hashing out agreements. It
seems like I don't want to mislabel the term catch-22 because I don't think it's the right term, but it seems like when the quote-unquote reformers put forward the cap on the historic tax credits, for example, the proponents of the historic tax credits will filibuster, and if you don't have those in, the opponents of it will filibuster. It seems like It seems like no matter what, this bill is sort of mired in that deadlock. How do you break that?
Well, I think the way you break it is we keep pressing forward on our job creation legislation. We keep reminding our friends in the Senate that people are losing their jobs in this state, and other states are cannibalizing our businesses with very intense incentive programs. And if we wait too long, if we stagger and stumble over things we're disagreeing on, and we don't put the real effort into good governance, and that means compromising. That means both sides of this issue have to sit down and understand that everybody loses if they keep on this course. So we're hoping from the House perspective, if we can create the scenario to get a conference committee, then we can get those individuals into the room and get them to the next level of the discussion, which is an actual the part of this process here in Jefferson City that is the final step to getting a bill that people can vote on. And we don't know how that conference will go, but we do know this: there is no result if we cannot get to a conference committee and get those key individuals into the same room.
So are you pretty much giving up on the job training aspect of